What is that?
What's what?
That smell.
Oh, it's just some incense that Frank McAllister brought over.
It stinks. Put it out.
No, I like it. It helps me think.
All I can think about is how much it smells. It's distracting. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough.
You've been saying that for months now. And there's still piles and piles of lead around and no piles of gold.
Alchemy is a delicate subject. You Philistine. It takes time and finesse. Unlike your crude mechanics over there.
There's no need to be rude. My inventions are changing people's lives.
All right. What was it now? The automatic egg spoiler? Yes, that was a sure hit. Or the pneumatic underarm dryer.
It's not my fault that the people of Persia can't understand the sophistication of my genius.
They're not the only ones.
Geniuses, please! This kind of behavior is not becoming for distinguished members of the Imperial Persian Society of Royal Intellectual Gentlemen.
Right, as always, Balthazar.
Yes, we wouldn't want to upset the refined taste of the Ipsfrig elite.
Well, I'm glad we're all agreed. Now, take a look at this!
At what?
At what? Only the most singular occurrence I've seen in all of my years in the Society.
More singular than the Siamese juggling elephant from last year?
Oh, this find makes the discovery of Atlantis seem trivial. Come, look at this.
Jumping junipers.
Oh, well, let me see. What is that, Balthazar?
That, my dear friends, is a brand new star. It only appeared moments ago.
I've never seen anything so bright. What does it mean?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out. The heavens are trying to tell us something, and I can't escape the idea that it's wildly important.
This is big. We could get into the Hall of the Honorable Alumni if we go quickly.
Let's see here, let's see. Stars. Ah, here we are. Melchior, be a treat. Look through my telescope and tell me, what direction is our new star in?
West.
The west. All right. Is there any existing constellations that are stars nearby to?
Yes, let me see. There's Cassiopeia. That's Scorpio.
Just let me do it. I'm never any good at astronomy. It's between Ursa Major and the star Arcturus.
Interesting. Between the bear and its watcher. Yes. Signifies the birth of a king. To the west, you said. To the west. Chinese? Mongolian? No. Roman? A new Caesar, perhaps? Oh, no, that would be elsewhere. Bear. Yes, here we are. A new king born in Judea. And, oh my,
What is it?
you won't believe it.
Out with it, man!
Well, according to this chart, this star heralds not just any king, but the king of all kings.
The king of all kings? In Judea?
Why would the King of Kings be born in some backwater Roman province?
Well, I didn't write the book. Look, see for yourselves.
Well, it appears that Balthazar is correct. This new star sign is the sign of the King of Kings. He's been born in Judea. We have to go tell the gents at the Findings Committee.
No, we cannot take this claim before the Findings Committee without evidence.
Quite right you are, Caspar. We're going to need to collect proof.
Well, how do we go about proving a birth that's happened thousands of miles away?
Well, I don't know. We could write letters and ask.
Or we could take a camel train across Asia.
Who in their right minds would take a camel to search for a king? What's that?
Let me see. Blast! It's that knave Marius. He's gearing up for an expedition. He and his team must have also seen the star.
Marius? Let me see. Oh, and that's not all. Hildegard is packing her trunks and loading them onto elephants and... Oh my.
What?
That's all of them. Scholars from all over Ipswich are heading to the air docks. If we're going to get to Judea, we're going to need to go fast.
Well, there's only one thing for it then. We must fire up this airship and head straightway for Judea.
This airship? Oh no. I work here. We can't do that. I am on the verge of a break.
Yes, we know. Did you not hear that every member of Ipswich is jumping on this find? This is much bigger than your little chemistry set.
Rude.
No. Melchior is right. We must get to Jerusalem as quickly as possible and confirm the birth of this king. If we don't, another member of the society will get there first. And we can say goodbye to the Hall of Honorific Alumni.
But I have clearly
Don't
stated...
be such a wet blanket, Caspar. Think of it as a great adventure. Think of the fame. You can bring your test tubes and your beakers if you like.
You just want to test out your new invention.
Well, that is partially true. But remember, fame.
Be that as it may, the fact remains. We must get to Judea as quickly as possible. Time is essential.
Fine. Let me just secure my equipment.
That's the spirit. Onward for science and glory.
Melchior, could you fly this death trap a little less convulsively? I'm spilling ether everywhere.
It's the sky, Caspar. There's wind and clouds and various other elements. It's almost impossible to keep this thing steady.
Better than traveling on camels, though, wouldn't you say?
I suppose. This turbulence is making my... Blast! I cannot work under these preposterous conditions.
Well, then put your experiments away and come gaze at the sky with me.
We've been looking at the sky all night, Balthazar. It's a beautiful star, but I'm not completely convinced of its importance. Who is this king supposed to be?
Interesting question. I've been doing some research into the matter, and it turns out that the Jewish people have been expecting this king for a very long time.
Why is that?
Well, for centuries, the Jewish people were a divided people. Then, about 1,000 years ago, they united under a single monarch. His name was Saul. But Saul was not a good king. And so, their God anointed a new king to rule over them. And his name was David.
That was the boy that slew the giant with a sling.
The very same. And David was a good king. The symbol of all the monarchy should be. But it was not to last. Within 2 generations, the people divided again because of the wickedness of the kings that followed. Since then, the Jews have been oppressed by the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and most recently, the Romans.
An unlucky people.
To be sure. But they have not lost hope, for they believe one day their God will send them a new king, a king like David, who will overcome their oppressors, who will unite them again as a people, and who will usher in a new era of peace and prosperity.
Sounds like quite the sort of heroic gentleman to me. My sort of king.
Your sort of king would be
A
found...
gentleman and a scholar.
Quite right. For here, in the holy text of the Jewish people, the prophet Isaiah describes the king who is to come. Look, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. And of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
A kingdom that has no end? How is that even possible, Balthazar?
Perhaps he's the adventurer king we've all been waiting for, and he will lead us to the fountain of youth, everlasting life.
A distinct possibility, but one that is purely in the realm of conjecture at the moment. All we know is...
What's that?
It's that knave, Marius. They seem to have resorted to desperate measures. They've rammed our ship. Most excellent.
How in the world is that excellent?
It means he sees us as a threat. Now we have a real challenge. But unfortunately, the hit seems to have dislodged our fuel lines. We're spilling fuel everywhere.
Oh, what do we do?
I can reattach the line from this console, but without more fuel, we're not going anywhere. If I push the ship, we're as likely to crash as land.
We can't land. We have no time to lose.
Would the two of you be quiet? I'm thinking. Yes, one of these, one of these. Yes. Where is it? Where is it?
Oh.
I can't find it anywhere. I need something sulfurous.
Something sulfurous, you say?
Yes.
What? Would a rotten egg do the trick?
A rotten egg? Perhaps. The hydrogen sulfide from the globulin protein could, in theory, be a replacement for something more chemically pure. But where in these infertile skies are we going to find a rotten egg? I don't suppose either of you brought one.
You suppose wrong, my friend. You may doubt me, but I never travel unprepared.
Your automatic egg spoiler. We finally found a use for it.
Well, what do you mean, finally? There's always been a use of it. Now get me an egg.
Okay, now quick, put it in. Oh, perfect. Oh, now which way to the fuel tanks?
Go out the door, down the stairs, and to the left.
Hurry! We don't have much time.
Are we?
No.
Are we?
Still no.
Are we?
Yes!
Really?
No.
Oh, that's enough, you two. We knew this would be a long journey, and we must be nearly there. There must be something we can do to pick ourselves up.
I believe that is the River Jordan. Right ahead. Oh, still so sleepy though. Caspar, do you have anything in that magical kit of yours for exhaustion?
I'll be back in a moment.
But Melchior, do you think all of this effort will be worth it in the end?
What do you mean? This could be our greatest victory yet.
Perhaps, but say we confirm the birth of this king, we return to Persia, and we become immensely famous. And everyone wants to talk to us because of how important we've become, because of the discovery we've made. Do you think anyone will remember us after we die? Is this find really that important?
There's no way to know for sure, Balthazar. Could become very famous, yes? We could be remembered as the Magi who made the greatest discovery in the history of the world. They could celebrate this child's birth with festivities across the globe. Why, they could even make little recreations of his family and put us in there as little statues. Or they could forget who we were and what we did.
Exactly! There's got to be more. If this is truly the King of Kings, what does it mean for us?
For us?
Well, we're not Jews. But if this is the King of Kings, the everlasting Father, the Almighty God, doesn't he deserve something more than 3 crackpot scientists visiting him on his birthday? Doesn't he deserve...
Something to drink?
What?
I made this draft to energize us. It should help with the sleepiness.
Oh, you are a scholar. That is delicious. What do you call it?
Well, it's a concoction of fiery fuel emitting energy, or COFFEE.
What a strange name. But regardless of the name, you could make a lot of money selling that to people.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I don't think people would pay money for a drink just to energize them.
Oh, well, if this King of Kings hypothesis doesn't work out, this is an excellent second option.
I'll keep that in mind. Now, what's this I hear about a birthday? I haven't missed yours, have I?
No, it's not for another month yet. But while this has been a fine adventure so far, I can't escape this feeling that there is something more important going on.
More important than our induction into the Hall of Honorific Alumni?
Oh, I don't know. But the more I think about it, the more I can't escape this feeling that we're part of something greater than we can even imagine. Come, look what I found. Not only is the coming king spoken of all over the book of Isaiah, but Deuteronomy, Daniel, Micah, Zechariah, even many of the Psalms speak of the coming king of the Jews.
Wow, you weren't kidding. These people have been waiting a long time.
And not only that, if I'm reading this correctly, and I believe that I am, the Jews were not exaggerating when they called this king Almighty God. I believe this child is none other than the very Son of God, the deity himself.
Then it's even more important that we find him.
Before others do.
Oh, you're right. But we can't arrive empty-handed. We must bring something. A sacrifice, a gift, oh, something.
But what? I have nothing of real value, except for my coffee.
Well, I brought some of Frank's incense.
You're joking.
Good, good. Frank's incense, that's a start. I have some myrrh stashed around here somewhere. In some cultures, it's customary to give a gift of myrrh to the gods.
Why on earth do we have myrrh on this airship?
Because it helps me sleep.
I see.
Well, we have something symbolic, and we have something sentimental. What about something valuable, too?
Well, what did you have in mind?
How about gold?
Did you bring any?
No, but I'm nearly there with my formula.
Oh, Caspar. You may be the best alchemist that I know, but not even you can figure out the lead to gold formula by the time we get to Jerusalem.
How much time do I have?
Well, if my calculations are correct, Jerusalem should be just up ahead.
Estimated time of arrival.
12 minutes.
Perfect. I love a deadline.
Caspar,
Hush, I'm working.
I just...
Hush.
Balthazar, come here and bring your telescope.
What is it?
What's that up there on the palace roof?
It appears to be a man trying to signal us. I believe he's using Eastern flag code.
What's he saying?
Well, it's been years since I've studied EFC, but let me think. He appears to be saying, who are we and what do we want?
There's some flags in the console over there. Get them and tell them who we are.
We are learned scientists from the East. We seek the King of the Jews.
What's he saying?
He says, no king here, just Herod.
Tell them about the star.
We saw the star heralding the Messiah.
What's he saying?
Now he seems to be consulting with some kind of a official, a priest. Here we go. No Messiah here. Try Bethlehem to the south. It doesn't appear they're going to let us dock in Jerusalem.
Well, Bethlehem then.
Well, it's not very far away, a couple of miles to the south.
Then the south we shall go. Almost there, Caspar.
Hush! You know, when you called this place backwater, I didn't think you were really serious. What kind of town has no airship dock?
Oh, it's a village, Caspar. Our villages back home don't have airship docks.
I haven't been to a village since Well, I don't think I've ever been to a village.
It's just a little walk, Caspar. I won't kill you.
It might. I'm a scientist, not a pack mule.
Well, if Melchior hadn't been so abrupt with the farmers back there, they might have loaned us a mule or two.
It's not my fault the beauty of the piston-powered handshaker was lost on them. I was just trying to save us some time. I'm sure Marius is around here somewhere.
You know, after 20 years of working with you, Melchior, I still have no idea what goes on in that head of yours.
It's probably for the best. This undiluted genius would be too much for your simple mind to take.
Simple? The elegance of my formula surpasses anything you've ever created.
Well, at least I have created. You've been working on the same formula for almost 20 years that I've known you, and you're still no closer to changing lead to gold.
I told you, I am on the verge of a
breakthrough.
Yeah,
we know.
Well, I never. At least you have the decency of carrying the lead from the ship.
Did you say lead?
There's lead in this bag?
Yeah, if we're going to bring gold to the child, we need lead to begin my process.
I've been carrying lead through the desert? With our rivals on our heels? Oh, I was right, Caspar. This walk may not kill you, but I just might.
Oh, now we're nearly there. Please, Melchior, settle down. Caspar, what were you thinking? We're so close to the threshold of this great discovery, and you've got us dragging lead bars around the desert. For what? So you can prove your experiment works? This is too important to be slowed down by something as ridiculous as pride. Now, I admit, when we first started out, I too was only interested in my own fame. I wanted my name to be carved upon the walls of the Hall of Honorific Alumni, to be remembered for all time. I wanted the prestige and the glory that went with making such a significant discovery. But now we're so close, I can't help but think that in the face of the significance of this child, that my honor means nothing. My fame means nothing. The Hall of Honorific Alumni means nothing. In fact, if the Jewish scriptures are true, and this is the long-awaited Son of God, then all of our inventions, our experiments, our discoveries are but dust and ashes in comparison. No, we stand on the very threshold to God Himself. Therefore, we must drop everything else and focus on that.
You're right. Of course you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I was so busy trying to prove that I can't believe it.
It's all right, Caspar. I've been waylaid by pride myself. I've been so eager to show the world what I can do that I just...
No, that's not what I meant. Look!
Is that
Gold?
I believe so.
Where did it come from?
My bag!
you completed your formula? It works.
I haven't completed it. My kit is still sealed.
Then how did that...
I have no idea.
Oh, now we have myrrh and frankincense, and now gold. Quite a selection of gifts, wouldn't you say?
Fit for a king, even.
Look!
Great Scott! The star!
It's right overhead.
This must be the place.
This place? What? It's barely more than a stable.
Well, it is a night for mysteries.
And miracles.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Then let us go adore this child who will change the world. Well, my dear friends, I believe our mission was a success.
Quite an adventure.
A victory for the ages.
But not our victory.
No, this was a victory for God.
And for humanity. Of that we can all celebrate.
He was just so
Magnificent.
beautiful.
Glorious.
Yes, we found the proof we were looking for. The evidence that confirmed our hypothesis.
So, should we take our findings before the committee?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet, I don't think.
Well, even if that means that Marius and his crew get back with proof of the Son of God?
Now that I've seen him, the Son of God, I mean, I don't really care if Marius gets the glory or not.
I just need time to sort this all out for myself. If God came to be amongst his people, then what
does that mean for us?
I think it means hope.
And peace.
And joy.
Well, one thing I know for certain. We will never be the same, for we have encountered the divine. And he was more wonderful than we could ever have dreamed. And so, with Casper's excellent coffee, may I propose a toast to the King of all kings.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.